Oh, starting the Zoom, hang on. Good evening, Town of Dayton. Welcome to the Planning Board regular meeting, Wednesday, March 1st, 2023. By word of reminder, this is a public meeting being video and audio recorded for cable broadcast. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America,
and to
to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great, thank you. All right, I want to confirm the next meeting date of March 15th, 2023. It's a typo there, caught by Mr. Woods. All right, so first order of business on the agenda, 4A, to review, discuss, and act on the site plan review for Reed's Brothers Farm Limited Partnership, 1050 William Street, map 7, lot 1. How you doing, sir?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. My name is Greg Logan, 2185 Pleasant Street, Dayton. I'm here to do over the site plan review with the board.
Okay, excellent. All right, so while these gentlemen go through the package here, just to bring everybody up to speed, on February 16th, which is the day after we met, the applicant stopped by the assessor's office and confirmed that, after speaking with Stephanie, it has been determined that the building on the property as well as the asphalt paving has been taxed at commercial rate. Therefore, it's determined that the request to remove property from chapter land is not required. And then we allowed them to continue with construction relative to the gym-only work. And then some additional documentation showing that in your package. Let me grab this and go down. Some additional correspondence, get their application. Just want to jump forward a little bit here, because we did get some other feedback from other members in town. All right, here we go. Email from the conservation agent, Lisa Caledonia, a reference to the application. The work where proposed is not within our jurisdiction, so you're clear there. And there was, I think, one additional from Todd Pilling, Dayton Board of Health. Carry the use of this falls within septic sizing of the system currently being installed, and no adjustment up to the septic is required. I think that was the documentation that went along with it. So aside from those other pieces of documentation, the other pieces you have in your application have to do with the site plan application and supporting drawings that go along with that. I think that's everything, right?
Yes.
Okay. You guys have any questions for the applicant?
You, Mr. Logan.
Yes.
Did you do the driveway?
Yes, so can I come over? So this particular section here, I had to do the tenant that's renting the garage. It came in front of you guys. It's long, right?
In the garage.
They're renting the back is a gym.
The gym.
I guess his last name. So I did this one. So after I started looking at the bylaws, it's determined that it's gonna be under 200 square feet per the square foot of the area for a parking space. I based it, so I needed 8. I did 10 across here, allowing 2 handicaps as well. So we're well within our rooms of the square footage of my section that I'm in. Well, building.
The only problem, I was going over this here, and I'm not saying that it's right or wrong.
Sure.
I'm saying that I don't know what scale you use. You have no scale
Quarter.
here of what?
Quarter.
Quarter inch?
Yeah. Is it quarter or 8? It might be 8. This right here should be, if you look at this, this is scaled.
That's the scale?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 62 feet long, 23 feet wide, it's 1,535 square feet.
Okay, here it shows instead of 62, it shows 64 and change.
So it's 62 though, I'm sorry.
Okay, and then we go to other areas, there is less than that. Like in this case here, you show 90 feet.
That should be 59 by 62 or something like
At
that.
quarter inch, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, no, that's,
My problem is,
I'm here for
I
this
like to
one
be
here,
fair
though.
with everyone, but when we don't see anything that the numbers coincide with
this
what
is the
we're doing.
building,
The what?
That's the building, not that's the parking lot.
again, 1/4 inch.
Do anything if you don't mind.
Tell me,
I didn't put a scale on that, I'm surprised, I'm usually pretty good at that. So, let's go to 1/8. Yeah, that's showing that, that's not right either. It's 50, this is not right. I don't know why that's like that.
Yeah,
I apologize. Oh, you know why? I had these drawings done, these brought down just to get on one page, because before they were on the sides like this. So, that's what.
my concern is, you understand where I'm coming
Sure,
from?
sure.
I mean,
Well, I had to make, I don't know if you're familiar with the whole property. There's a picture attached to you guys, if you guys go to one of the photos here. There's a building on the back, so I had to go in front of the fire department in regards to get the building under 7,500 square feet.
Okay.
Okay, so this building and this building is under 7,500. See this black section right here? This used to be where they used to have the cooler in the back of the building. I had to rip that down in order to keep it this back right here.
Yeah.
In order to keep it under the square footage. My building here, it's 23 by 69, is that what it says on here or something like that? 69 by 20. That's what this little section, this is what we're here in front of right now. This particular building back here is just under 60, and I wanna say it's 109 or something like that. But between the two, I'm under 7,500 square feet. So when I went in front of the fire department, I didn't have to sprinkle the building, I could just do the central, so it gets calls from the fire department right from there, they'll know where the call box, all that stuff. I did that, and that's why I got the fire department. So I apologize about the scale, but I can tell you that's that size and that's that size, because we went out and we did all that, and that's how if you look at the tax bill as well, I believe you'll see that they're under the square footage now too.
I don't know how the rest of the board feels, but I would like to get something that.
I'll do
I
it
can
the
put a
scale for you.
scale to it
Yeah,
and say,
sure.
okay,
I can do that
I
for
need
you,
to
and I
know.
apologize that that's not.
Tomorrow somebody else could come in and say, you didn't do it for them.
Well, like I said, we've been through every board so far, and everyone's been, knows what's been going on, and the square footages are all equal to working. The fire department has been on site. I'm not adding any structure, it's an existing structure within the area. I'm not approaching anybody. So my building that we're here for in site plan review is in regards to the 69 by 23 foot section. The rest of it's already been approved by this board and sent off. The only piece that's highlighted in yellow is what I'm here for.
The other thing that
Sure.
I'm seeing here, you have a handicap spot here.
Yep.
You have no barrier here, and you've got another handicap on
You've
this
seen
side.
the property, there's a ramp going up here. So this right here, when you pull in, this right, it's a spot, if it's a van, or if they wanna pull in on this one, they can go in this way as well, that's why you have that.
I understand, but what happens, you've got a vehicle coming in this way, there's a person coming out of
Yeah,
here.
but you have this target on this side, so this is a 9-foot section, and that's a 9-foot section, plus a
Right.
9-foot section, plus a 9-foot section, so altogether, we have 18 square feet by 18 square feet.
Yes, but do you see where I'm saying that this has to be, you have to kind of block this so that this vehicle.
Sure, I'll do a bump stop
Bollards
there,
or
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, and again,
Again,
this
that's-
has already
that's-
been approved, this is what we're here for right here.
Okay.
This has already been in front of you.
Yeah, that's all
That's
approved.
the
This has
analysis.
been approved,
Just
just this was not, and now
This
this
was,
is interfering
this was all here.
with that one.
This
Okay.
is the only one, right here realistically, that I had, that we're working on.
Okay, so this is part of.
This was part of that, and again, I will get you a scale size
Okay.
for that.
Okay.
This, and you know what I mean, but this,
You understand where I'm coming from?
Oh, yeah, I mean, you're concerned here, but like he was saying, this was the NL. That was the previous
That was
site
our-
plan.
what I will do,
Previously.
10
we're
spots
gonna,
there.
so I have to do line striping on this as well. So when I do this here, I will put a bump stop work on that. I have a gas meter.
The other option is to
Switch it the other way, do three.
switch it the other way.
Could do that too.
Yeah, I think that's
Well,
probably
the
a
square
little bit
footage,
easier
after
that way.
reading the bylaw, it says 200 square foot per parking spot, okay?
Okay, it's a 10 by 20. so.
Right, now I've got 30, so I'm way over what I need here, but I just used the entire parking lot.
It's one parking spot required per 200 square foot of business.
Correct,
Yeah,
correct.
not 200 foot, not 200 square.
Yeah,
foot.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, you got
Yeah.
that.
Just so we're on the same page. So this required me to do 8,
Yeah.
and I did 10. And I could do more over here if I want, but our plan is over here, if you remember, there's like a pergo over here, and we're gonna do some of our pavers and stuff that we do for work out there as a thing.
Okay, so this is where the question, where I.
Yeah, and again, you can go, any assessors, I have it here, you can look on the assessor's map, that's a 69, it was pulled in 1971, that permit. 69 by 23.
This has already been approved.
That section of
Yeah.
it has,
Really?
yeah.
Okay. Something good. I don't have really much of
But I will get you, just to keep on file.
that's the rest of the board.
Sure, but I have no problem doing that.
I'm good.
You good? Anything else, Mr. Figurito?
No,
Gentlemen, am I right? Dan, no questions, no concerns? Okay. I mean, if you want to do a conditional approval, because if you do want
he
that
says
still,
he's gonna do it. I'm gonna take his
Well,
word
what
for
we
it.
can do is, before I get a certificate of occupancy, I can do that over the weekend, you'll have it. I'll drop it off to Kelly.
because just so he doesn't have to come back and come before us.
Sure.
If that's your only concern, then we
That
can.
is
we-
my only
We can,
concern.
we can talk about a conditional approval, and the applicant will provide a scale drawing of his property.
Sure.
Of the project here. So,
The only other question that I had was on a 61A, but you seem, everybody seems to be satisfied with that.
Yeah, there is attachments on there, it has been done to commercial, it was.
Yep.
That got cleared up the next day.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, so, I obtain a motion, for conditional approval of the site plan here for the applicant, condition upon getting the scale drawing which he will provide to Kerry. So somebody want to make that motion?
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded.
Mr. Chairman, is it too late to speak?
Go ahead.
In that file, do I have the layout of what I built? I believe that's the scale.
It's in the additional documents.
I think that's the one that's the scale.
Yeah, there's just a site plan.
You got it
All
all.
right, there you go, that's the scale.
Yeah, I got the page right after that plan there.
Okay, you're gonna use a 1/4 inch scale.
I'm going to withdraw that
It
motion.
shows 10 feet,
I got 11.
Okay.
got 15.
Okay, I make a motion to withdraw that motion.
Okay, then you go to here.
Okay, now I'll make a motion to approve the site plan review for Reed Brothers Farm Limited Partnership, 1050 William Street, map 7, lot 1.
Yeah, so it's the same thing.
I'll get you that. That's what we're building right there.
Sorry, I didn't make you.
He's
No,
still
no.
writing.
You came to that one, not me.
Yeah, it's no worries.
Joe,
Procedure.
I made a motion to withdraw the original motion.
Okay.
Chris
Are
seconded.
you satisfied with that, or do you want a scale drawing to come anyway?
I would rather have a scale drawing.
Then we shouldn't withdraw the motion, because we should just leave it conditional,
Okay.
just like we had.
Okay.
I think that's good enough. If he
That's fair.
brings in a scale drawing,
Okay,
fine, I have no problem.
all right.
We do this,
All right, so we had a motion and a second for conditional approval. We had a motion to withdraw that was seconded, but nobody voted,
Right.
so
Can you just withdraw the second and then?
it's not applicable.
Well, there was no,
There's no vote.
there was a motion but no vote, so.
Yes.
Can you just withdraw the second?
Okay, so we'll vote on the original
There was
motion.
no vote.
Yeah, so we just rolled back to the original
Want to stand with the
motion.
original vote?
Yeah, staying with the original. Get a motion and a second. Any further discussion for the conditional approval for the site plan for the applicant?
No further discussion.
Okay, hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? Any abstentions? Okay, motion carries.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
so I can continue construction, bring that in, we'll be all set.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very
So you
much.
get the drawing to carry?
Yeah, I'll get it
next-
to him. I'm
okay.
probably gonna see it sooner than later anyway, so.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys.
All righty. Excellent. All right, so on to business item 4A2. This board is going to deliberate on a final decision of Forest Hills Estates, special permit conservation subdivision, map 3, lot 28, 33, and 78. So members of the board, in your packet, you should have the findings and the decision per the meeting we had last time on February 15th. And I'll go ahead and read that out loud here. Findings and decisions for the Forest Hill Estates Special Permit Conservation Subdivision and definitive subdivision application. The applicant is DI Trust 2, 100 Main Street, Pawtucket, Rhode Island, 02840, and the date of this decision letter is March 1st, 2023. Just some procedural history. On or about February 11th, 2021, DI Trust 2, hereafter the applicant, applied for approval for a special permit conservation subdivision. The project is described on plans entitled Forest Hills Estates A Definitive Conservation Subdivision in Dayton, Massachusetts, revised through November 11, 2022. The plans depict 135 lots. In accordance with the provision of Mass General Law, Chapter 41, Section 81T, and the Dayton zoning bylaws, Section 4300, Conservation Subdivision, a combined public hearing was held on March 17, 2021, continued to April 21st, 2021, continued to May 19th, 2021, continued to June 16th of the same year, July 21st of the same year, August 18th of the same year, September 15th, October 20th, November 17th, and then February 16th, 2022, March 16th of the same year, May 18th, July 20th, September 21st, October 19th, November 16th, January 1st, 2023, and continued to February 1st, and then continued to February 15th, 2023. The numerous continuances were at the request of the applicant. Finally, the public hearing was closed on February 15th, 2023. That's a procedural history. I'll now read the findings. First, the application of this matter arises under peculiar circumstances. The applicant originally applied for a subdivision approval for 143 lots in 1998, ultimately with the intention that would pursue a conservation subdivision special permit. However, no such permit application was filed at the time of the original subdivision application. The board denied the original request of the application. Extensive litigation ensued in 2008, and the subdivision litigation was resolved through a settlement agreement, subject to the further review and approval of the board. Bad pause on a comma there, sorry about that. However, the settlement agreement did not resolve or promise to compel the granting of conservation subdivision permit, nor could it, as such application had never been filed. Indeed, minutes of board meetings during settlement negotiations included dialogue between counsel to the parties in which it was acknowledged that a special permit was still required. Under Section 4310 of the Conservation Subdivision Bylaw, a board's decision to grant a special permit will include a determination as to whether the proposal will serve to encourage the preservation of open land for its scenic beauty and to enhance agricultural open space, forestry, and recreational use, to preserve historical and archaeological resources, to protect the natural environment, to protect the value of real property, to promote more sensitive siting of buildings and better overall site planning, to perpetuate the appearance of Dayton's traditional New England landscape, to allow landowners the reasonable return on their investment, to facilitate the construction and maintenance of streets, utilities, and public services in a more economical and efficient manner, and to promote the development of housing affordable to low and moderate income families. In order to assist the board in deciding whether to grant a special permit, 4350 of the Conservation Subdivision Bylaw requires the applicant to prepare a conventional or yield plan. Such a plan not only assists the board in determining the allowable number of lots, but also assists the board in determining whether the proposed conservation subdivision will meet the goals of the bylaw or whether a conventional subdivision may be more appropriate. While most of the hearing dates described above did not contain any testimony, each of the substantive sessions of the hearing included a request by the board that the applicant provide a yield plan. In each instance, the applicant stated that it would not do so, including a refusal ordered by the applicant at the final hearing session of February 15th. Prior to and at that hearing session, the board and its agents informed the applicant that such information was necessary in order to make a full and informed decision. The issue of water service for the proposed subdivision was a frequent topic of discussion at the board's hearing. A private water system is not possible, and the applicant at all times proposed a public water supply. However, the applicant could not provide a commitment from any public source, choosing instead to simply state that it intended to rely on public water to be supplied by the North Dayton Fire District Dayton Water District, or the City of Taunton. Under Section 5323 of the town's zoning bylaws, consideration of a special permit includes a determination of the adequacy of utilities and other public services. Similarly, under Section 5344 of the zoning bylaws, the board is required to consider the water system provided to the site. Numerous area residents spoke at the board's hearings, all of them opposed to the proposed project. Almost done, folks. On February 15, 2023, the planning board closed the hearing and voted to disapprove the above-referenced special permit conservation subdivision and accompanying subdivision plan for the following reasons. A, the applicant failed and refused to provide required information, specifically a yield plan and evidence supporting a viable water system for the project. B, as to the yield plan, the board finds that the failure to provide a conventional plan disables a board from determining whether the proposed conservation subdivision is preferred to a conventional subdivision. Without such information, the board cannot determine that the proposed project meets the purposes and goals under Section 4310. Nor did the applicant provide an adequate evidence as to how the goals and purposes of Section 4310 would be satisfied. As to water supply, the board finds that the proof of a viable functioning water system is an absolute necessary prerequisite for granting of a large residential subdivision such as the one proposed. Having failed to provide such proof, the board finds the application has not met its burden. All right, so that's the decision in front of you, gentlemen. At this point, are we discussing things here? Is there any more input we're taking on this? Or I guess we could, if anybody any members of the board deem necessary to modify anything you see in the decision. Gary?
It would just be a discussion among yourselves.
Yep.
Because everything is closed. If you deem that it's okay, then you vote to accept the decision and then sign it.
All right.
Unless
So-
you.
Members on the board, any comments before we take this to a vote?
or-
No comment at this
Any
time,
edits?
Mr. Chairman.
No,
Chris?
no comment.
I have none.
Okay.
I think it's all written
So
down.
is the vote to accept the decision, findings and decision as written?
I'll make that motion.
All right.
No second.
All right, motion made and seconded, and further discussion before we take it to a vote. All right, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any nays, abstentions? Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you. All right, next item on the agenda is agenda item number 5. There's public input, we'll get to that in a second, if that's okay. Number 5, approval of meeting minutes, February 15th, 2023. Somebody make a motion to approve those?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Mrs. Easterday, is there any correspondence before we go to public input?
None.
Hearing none? All right, public input. If you could step to the mic, state your name and address, sir.
I'm the lawyer, Tom Monroe, 195 Forest Street. I just would like to know what this really means to the layman like myself. Could you just give us a little like direction? What does this really mean? Does he just come back next week and start all over, or is there like
We've
a...
rejected his application for a conservation subdivision, and making it final with the findings and decisions we read out tonight. At this point, not certain.
So there's
Sorry, go ahead.
sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, please go.
So there's a 20-day appeal period. So once they sign it, it gets time-stamped into the town clerk. And then the applicant has the opportunity to file an appeal on the decision, and that gets filed with the Superior Court. And
Okay, then the process just starts over again.
Well,
Like-
that,
like 20
if
years ago, 10
it
years-
goes to the court, and then it goes to the Superior Court,
Okay.
and then the court makes a determination on the board's decision on whether it was valid or not. I don't know if you
Okay.
really wanna.
It's up to the applicant to reapply. I guess that's the answer to
That's
your
what I'm
question.
asking. He can, this company, Dayton Industries can just, okay, this one's done, but we just can start another one.
I can't speak on behalf of the
Okay, I
applicant, but
understand.
it's
That's all I wanna know.
entirely up to them on whether or not they want to reapply.
Yep.
They're within their right to reapply, but tonight we just read the decision.
Thank you.
I think we can say more beyond that. Okay, any other public input tonight? Okay. So at this point, we have to close the open session.
So you make a motion to go into executive session.
Okay.
You can actually, you can recess for 5 minutes if you want.
Yeah, so we're gonna take a 5-minute recess to vote on the recess. Is that the procedure? I don't know.
No.
Good night. At this point, we'll make a motion to enter executive session under Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A1. Purpose is to discuss the reputation, character, physical condition, or mental health rather than professional competence of an individual, or discuss the discipline or dismissal of, or complaints, or charges against a public officer, employee, staff member, or individual. Can somebody please make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion made, seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
There needs to be a roll call vote, Mr. Chairman, sorry.
Roll call vote,
Sorry.
okay? By roll, Mr. Figueroa,
Aye.
Mr. Woods,
Aye.
Mr. Cunha,
Aye.
Mr. Higgins.
Aye.
And Chairman Jeff Cavallo is also an aye. Motion carries.
Okay, so with the planning board now in executive session, if the board of selectmen could not call the meeting to order and open it in open session, and then proceed.
Good evening, welcome to a meeting, a joint meeting of the Board of Selectmen and the Dayton Planning Board, Wednesday, March 1st, 2023. I will at this time call the Board of Selectmen to order. Present this evening is Mr.
Pete Karen here.
and Mr. Kenneth Pacheco.
Present.
And Chairman Leonard Hope. The purpose of this meeting is to join the planning board in an executive session. At this time, I will entertain a motion for the Board of Selectmen to enter into executive session under Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 38, Section 21A1, to discuss the reputation, character, physical condition, or mental health rather than professional competence of an individual, but to discuss the discipline or dismissal of, or complaints or charges brought against a public officer, employee, staff member, or individual.
I'll make that motion. Second.
Motion made and second. All those in favor, Mr. Karen?
Aye.
Mr. Chico?
Aye.
Chairman Hull is an aye. Thank you.
We announce that we're not going to return to the session. You make that.
Okay, at this point, we will not be returning